Worrisome scenes played out at the Pan-African Parliament this week, but the question many are asking is, what about the resources wasted for the fourth session, which ended in pandemonium? Members failed to reach a consensus on the voting process, and the session will now resume later this year. Khayelihle Khumalo reports.
Honorable member from Zimbabwe.
A continental shame as members of the Pan-African Parliament fought and the session descended into chaos. They were supposed to elect new leadership, but a stalemate prevailed. The southern and northern regions wanted the rotation principle to be upheld to allow different regions to be elected. But Central, East and West Africa were totally opposed to the idea.
When parliaments become circus, become dramatic, and parliaments become corrupt, that's where we don't see the relevance of the parliament. But what is critically, again, parliament is able to do what we say, review of laws.
Now, the mother body of the African Union must step in. But is the parliament ready to be assisted?
The intervention that would be relevant at this particular time is perhaps to mediate the resolution regarding how the principle of rotation should be implemented in the Pan-African Parliament.
The AU has set aside over $11 million to fund the fourth session. South Africa, as the host country, takes care of the costs for the premises and the equipment. Exactly how much we are paying, though, is not clear, because the Department of International Relations and Cooperation has failed to provide ENCA with a breakdown, despite being repeatedly asked for this.
There is loss of resources that were put into organizing this election, but the situation is such that we just couldn't carry on.
The ANC says it's outraged.
Resources in Africa are generally depleted. So we have got to make sure that we make good use of every cent. So there should not be acts or actions that lead to fruitless expenditure in the manner that could undermine what institutions like the Pan-African Parliament ought to be achieving.
Meanwhile, the House will resume its work later this year. But the continent is facing many pressing issues right now, and it's clear it's failed to put the interest of Africans first this time around. Khayelihle Khumalo, Johannesburg.